Hey guys, what's up? Jacob here. Today you're going to see an actual sales call. You're going to see me break down a pitch from a few of my clients. I'm going to be tearing every part of this call apart, looking for the intricacies, not of the words that are being said, but things such as tonality, body language, and all of the nonverbal cues which the client is giving off during this entire call. This stuff is so important because you're literally able to read your client's mind with time and with a trained eye. This is the stuff that separates amateurs from the professionals. And even to prove that I really am just focused on the nonverbal cues, the call's in Portuguese. Now it is dubbed in English, but I'm not even focused on the words that are being said. I'm only focusing on the body language, the tonality, and the cues that are being given off non-verbally. And me not even be able to understand the language, I'm still able to get a ton of information, which is absolutely accurate on this call. So, all right, let's get into it. All right, so to give a little bit of context here, but not too much. Essentially, this guy does solar panels in Brazil, and they are doing local SEO for solar panels. And so they essentially found these guys. They were on page 2 or 3 or what have you. They gave them a call and said, "Hey, look, you guys aren't ranking very well. We can get you on page 1. We guarantee it." And now this is essentially the first call to where they're going to be talking about the numbers and actually going over the pitch that we've been working on together. So let's get into it here.
Que são bons.
Perfeito,
Não são
perfeito.
perfeitos, precisam melhorar, né? Mas são bons, são bem dedicados.
Ah, não, claro, claro, claro. É... Bom, você tem sócio, alguma pessoa que você precisa passar também as informações que a gente vai ter aqui?
All right, so we're already getting some cues here. We can tell. I could even see it on the previous shot. He's kind of looking around. He's looking down at his phone. Okay, not entirely interested. Something to be aware of. Let's see what happens here.
Aqui hoje?
Olha, a minha esposa está aqui do meu lado, ela está ouvindo.
Ah, tá, não, então tranquilo. Muito prazer, viu?
Uhum.
Prazer, boa tarde.
O nome dela é Jéssica.
Boa tarde, Jéssica.
Boa tarde.
Perfeito, então. Ah, tá,
Yeah, and he's on the script here taking notes, which I would not take notes on the script. I would take notes on a notepad or something, or on your actually type them out somewhere.
só mais duas perguntinhas que eu tenho que fazer, né? Como é que tá. Como é que.
Okay, so and then he said right there, there's only 1 or 2 more questions I need to ask. Let's see what's okay. There are only 1 or 2 more questions I have to ask. Okay, so what is that saying when you're saying that? Well, basically that's projecting weakness. That's projecting timidness. Oh, please, 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 just let me ask a few more questions. Please, please listen to me. That's not the vibe you're going for. Okay, every question you're asking, every qualifier is there for a reason. There's a reason you're saying it, it's important, and we need to figure this stuff out now to see if it's a mutual fit to work together. That's the vibe you're going for. So you're not asking for permission.
Só mais duas perguntinhas que eu tenho que fazer, né? Como é que tá. Como é que é hoje a questão da sua prospecção, né? Vocês fazem tráfego pago? É mais por indicação? Como é que funciona isso?
A gente trabalha muito, João, por indicação, cara. Hoje a gente trabalha muito, vende muito por indicação.
Okay, I don't even know a lot of indication means, but what did just happen there? He asked him, "All right, what's your traffic? What are you doing?" He didn't answer the question. First of all, interesting. He didn't answer the question. Maybe that means he's not doing any traffic. Maybe that means he doesn't know. But what is definitely being said there is, you notice how the way he's playing with his papers and stuff, playing with the bills, shuffling things. What does that say in general, right? If someone's doing that, that means in general they're projecting, "I'm busy, I have things to do, maybe you're wasting my time," but particularly I read it as, "You need to hurry up." Okay, you're going too slow. I have things to do. So that's what I'm picking up from the body language there.
A gente tentou desenvolver o tráfego, ainda não rodou para nós, assim, da forma como a gente gostaria, sabe?
Entendi, perfeitamente.
Yeah, it doesn't really answer the question.
A gente sabe da importância do marketing, do tráfego e tal, mas a gente ainda não conseguiu efetivamente rodar da forma que nós gostaríamos.
Yep, not answering the question. Okay.
Entendi.
I understand. No, he says I understand.
Bom,
Do you understand? Because I don't understand what he just said. As I would clarify. I would dig a little deeper because you're selling marketing and you asked him what he's doing for marketing and he didn't give you a clear answer. That's kind of important to get figured out, I would say.
Só por uma
Just out of
curiosidade,
curiosity,
né?
right?
Aí na região de vocês, né, que muda um pouquinho a cada região do Brasil, né, que a gente prospecta, o ticket médio de energia solar tá em torno de
Same
uns
thing.
15 mil reais, né, por cliente, assim. O projeto.
É um pouquinho mais. O nosso aqui é entre 20 e 30 mil.
20 e 30 mil, perfeito.
A gente vende poucos projetos nesse valor de 15. A maioria é entre 20 e 30. Né, meu?
Uhum. Perfeito, perfeito. Daí vocês
Vamos por 25 mil ticket médio.
atuam só em Porto Velho, daí?
Não,
thing.
todo estado.
Ah, é todo estado.
Todo
Entendi.
estado.
Entendi.
Same thing.
Perfeito.
On his phone, not paying attention. Hurry up. I would speed up the questions. Speed up. Be quicker. Be quicker. Be quicker. Like less words, just go right to it. Pick up the tone. More direct. That's what this guy is looking for right now.
Perfeito. Ah, isso é interessante. Tem muito potencial aí, então. Muito potencial. Ok. Darli, eu tinha preparado uma auditoria personalizada, né, que eu tinha te dito em relação ao seu site, né? Meu sócio preparou, que está na Tailândia. Já vou falar um pouquinho mais da gente, do nosso background, da nossa expertise, né? E eu realizei ele para o site da Green Energy, né, no caso. Eu não foi realizada para o site da Gutoneris, mas a gente pode realizar no futuro, caso você queira, né? As melhorias, etc.
Você fez para Gutoneris, é?
Não, eu fiz para Green Energy.
Ah, tá.
Para Gutoneris eu não fiz, mas pode ser feito no futuro. Eu vou compartilhar aqui o vídeo para a gente assistir junto e tirar qualquer dúvida que você tenha, certo? Você está conseguindo ver minha tela?
Bom, vamos lá. Eu vou gravar.
I give you a background. Basically, their way that they get clients on the line is they basically give them a call and they give them like a free little audit, right? That's like their sort of hook to get them on the sales call. So that's what they're going over right now. So I think we can skip this ahead. Oh. Okay, which is good. I mean, obviously that's something I typically,
Dados orgânicos, tá? E é interessante dizer também que tem uma pesquisa que é feita todos os anos para saber quantas pessoas acessam os sites através do Google, enfim. Nessa pesquisa, que ele 1% das pessoas é dividido em patrocínios, beleza? Tá? Isso, tá? Tá? De 0 a 20, funcionamento e a página de contato, seja
site aí, olha minha talvez.
So just in general, so he's going over this audit with them on the call. That's questionable, even questionable decision at this point. Now, obviously, he would have wanted. I probably would have started getting into it personally. I mean, this guy's probably too impatient to sit down and listen to an audit about really crap he doesn't really care about, right? He doesn't really care that his site speed is slow. He doesn't really care. If you're actually to watch it, it'd make more sense. But he's talking about the technical things of a website. This guy obviously doesn't care about that stuff. He just cares about the money, right? How much money am I going to give you? How much money am I going to get back? And can you guys actually do it? But at this point, this guy really just wants to get down to the numbers, right, and get down to the business. Hey guys, real quick, if you do want to learn how to optimize your sales process, smash quotas, and all other sales-related stuff, please subscribe down below. Thank you.
Ô, João, esse site, desculpa, foi uma falha minha, talvez. Esse site, nós estamos descontinuando ele. Você quer acessar o outro site aí? Embora não é muito diferente, não. Até um site novo também não está ranqueado, vamos dizer assim. Mas depois você olha, mas eu entendi o contexto aí. Realmente o nosso site ele é muito mal ou pouco posicionado, né? É um sonho meu virar esse jogo. Eu tô curioso para conhecer tua ferramenta e ver como é que a gente faz para melhorar isso.
Basically, he's saying, all right, by the end, he's like, all right, look, yeah, we know our site's bad. We know the site's not ranking. That's why we're on the call. That's why I want to talk to you to figure out how we can improve it. That's pretty much what he's saying. He's basically saying now, hurry up, let's get into it.
Perfeito. Então, já que seu objetivo é virar esse jogo, né, a gente consegue com certeza te ajudar com isso. Né? Estou compartilhando aqui uma apresentação da Elite. Tá conseguindo ver?
Get into it.
Tô.
Perfeito, então. Bom, falando um pouquinho da nossa empresa, né, da Mais Acessos, Somos compostos, né, de um time de 2 sócios, né, o Thiago que fez o vídeo. Tem um motivo para ele não estar participando dessa reunião hoje, né? Porque ele está na Tailândia estudando justamente a questão do posicionamento do Google, né? É chamado de SEO.
So what he's saying is basically Tiago, his partner, can't be on the call. He's in Thailand studying Google, studying SEO. Not relevant, not that big of a deal. It's not what this guy cares about. He doesn't care. Just wants to know about the money.
SEO, Search Engine Optimization, e lá é o polo do pessoal que estuda, né, essa questão do posicionamento do Google. Então, a maioria das pessoas que são boas de verdade nisso vão para lá, juntam no site deles, fazem estudos estatísticos para tentar desvendar o algoritmo do Google, né? Então, ele está lá estudando essa parte para a gente conseguir sempre estar atualizado, né? E manter os nossos clientes na primeira página, né? Estamos aqui desde 2021, né? Criando sites.
Same thing.
Já recebemos mais de 6 milhões de acessos em todos os nossos projetos.
Way too much on this. Way too much.
Né? Google, né? A primeira coisa que passa batido geralmente é a questão de ser um ativo intangível, além de ser uma questão do.
So he started at minute. Let's do a little guess here. Okay, so right here at 7:22 is when he basically is saying, "All right, look, let's get down to it. Let's just see. Let's just roll ahead here." Okay.
A partir disso, nós fazemos um planejamento de conteúdo. Ele é uma planilha, né, que você vai receber com o cima na apresentação, né, do site, da estrutura. A questão que você a entrega seria do site analisado com base em todas essas coisas da expertise que eu falei, né, com os artigos, etc. E
7 minutes.
Etc, as palavras-chave, né?
7 minutes of talking, just talking about stuff he doesn't really care about. Not really.
Que é o segundo ponto. Problemas técnicos. Então, uma entrega de.
Deixa eu te cortar um pouquinho. Eu já
Então, ó, essas são as.
This is why I wanted when he actually cuts in here. Okay.
Fazer o site, não vai precisar refazer, né? Que é na primeira página.
Não vai excluir, você vai. Já percebi.
Que é na primeira as propostas, né? Então, ó,
here we are at 15. So was it 7 something? So yeah, like basically 8 minutes later. 8 minutes of rambling on about their background, their this, their that, you know, their process, right? That's all great, but we haven't gotten into really where's this guy at? What are his goals? Where is he trying to get to? Does he even want new marketing? But what's really clear is just we're talking a lot here. We're talking a lot, and this guy's impatient.
Ela vai ranquear na primeira página para tal e tal palavra-chave em tanto tempo e etc, né?
João, deixa eu te cortar um pouquinho. Eu já percebi que você tem expertise, tem know-how. Eu estou entendendo que o meu site você não vai excluir, você vai reformular ele ou fazer um do zero, é isso?
Isso. Uhum.
All right, there we go. So after 8 minutes, he cuts in. He can't take it anymore. Look, man, I know you know what you're talking about. I know you know how to handle my site. All right, like he's like, all right, I need let's get down to the business, the things I care about. Essentially, money, return. That's what they always care about. When you're selling marketing, particularly, but in most things, that's what am I going to get out of this? What am I going to get?
Você vai deixar um site mais responsivo, né? Um site que vende.
Isso.
Qual é o custo disso?
Oh, look, there it is. There it is. What's the cost? Come on, man. Yeah, come on, let's get to it. Now you of course don't just you don't just give the price at this point. It's very clear that that's really what he's been wanting the whole time, right?
O custo, eu já vou te passar, né? Mas é o mesmo se a gente precisar refazer ou mudar o site, né?
Uhum.
Deixa eu só ter...
Did you hear the way he responded to that? Mm-hmm. When he didn't want to give him the price, just Come on, dude, you're killing me. So the way I would have handled this is like, what's this guy's name? Darley. I'd be like, yeah, look, Darley, absolutely, man. I'm getting to the price right now. Let me just finish up these last couple slides, and I'm going to get to the pricing and everything, how and the billing. Okay? Okay. And then continue. Right.
Terminar aqui essa questão do processo e o próximo slide já é o
Don't talk about the fucking process. Now he's talking about the process again. No, he just said he doesn't. He just said he doesn't want to talk about the process. Okay?
investimento, né?
Tá bom, é porque eu já identifiquei que você tem bagagem, know-how, e meu tempo é horrível, entendeu? Você já me transmitiu a confiança que eu queria, a propriedade no assunto que eu precisava, entendeu?
Perfeito, então.
Eu gostei ali da etapa que você trabalha. Você vai me emitir um relatório me identificando os gaps. É o que eu preciso. Uma grande dificuldade de toda empresa que trabalha com marketing não compartilha informação com o gestor. Então, você compra um produto, você não sabe se vai funcionar, se não funciona. Né? Então, já entendi isso. Eu preciso saber agora.
I don't really know what the heck he's saying. Basically, he's just saying the same thing. I know you have a product. I know how it works. That I just need to hear the money. I just need to hear the money. I need to hear the ROI. I need to hear the stuff that I'm on this call about, right? Because I trust. It's also good to know. He's saying, I trust you guys know what you're talking about. That's good, right? That's half of the problem. Basically, the two things you need to solve are what's the ROI and can you actually do? Are you actually going to do? And can you do what you said? Those are basically the two important steps of this. But the most important is, of course, being the front end, what I just said, of ROI, money, all that type of stuff.
Agora, qual é o custo? Se é um
What's the cost? He said it again. What's the cost? What's the cost? Come on, man.
Atrativo para mim, mas é uma dor que eu tenho.
Perfeito, perfeito. Só completando mais 2 entregas, né? Tem uma call semanal da atualização, né?
He goes into the call, the weekly update calls. It's kind of funny. Don't go on the weekly update calls, okay? He doesn't care, dude. Come on, we need to give this guy. We need to get to the brass tacks here. Like it's time. It's 10 minutes in the presentation, and we need to get to, we need to get to the good stuff here.
Então é um negócio rápido para não tomar muito. A gente vai fazer uma semana mensal e etc. Né?
Bacana.
Ok. Planejamento de conteúdo.
I want to get to when he actually starts talking about the price, because I'm sure the fight. I'm sure there'll be some fireworks here. There'll be some fighting.
Certo.
À vista, 17.
O valor o investimento de tudo isso, no caso, né, é
Now we're getting to the price, okay?
Valor de 6 vezes de R$3.000 para todas essas entregas.
Entendi. Ou à vista, R$17.000.
Isso.
Tá, o que eu vou te falar? Tem algum case que você fez, você enviar para mim, para eu dar uma olhada?
Eu tinha te enviado no WhatsApp.
Okay, look, so did you hear that too? He literally is like, okay, great, can you send it to me? And he wants to get off the call. Okay. Now, that's common, of course. People just want to know the price. They want to know the price so they can put you in a box and then move on with their life, which is, of course, what you don't want to do. You want to differentiate yourself and things like this. Of course, that's what you want. But really, the thing that's missing right now in this presentation is what, for that amount of investment of marketing, what is he going to get back in terms of money, revenue, clicks, all these types of things? That's been completely missed, which is the only reason anyone invests in marketing, is to get more sales and revenue back than what you're spending. I give you $1,000, you get me $10,000 back. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to know. What are those numbers? And that's what's being missed.
Ah, cara, bota um pontinho aqui para mim, por favor. Mandou mesmo.
Cadê?
Vou olhar aqui, João. Só um minutinho, tá?
Pode olhar. Fica à vontade.
Skip ahead here. He's doing something on WhatsApp. I'm not
Siga
really sure.
certo o título dos
Sure what
artigos.
they're talking about.
Do Darli. Tudo. Você vai receber um site assim, tipo, que você não vai precisar se incomodar com nada.
Yeah. Okay. He's showing him some of the deliverables and things like this. Again, irrelevant. It's not what he wants. It's not what he wants.
A única coisa que você vai precisar fazer, né, que
né, fora do que a gente está habituado a ver aí, né? Eu já fiz esse site também uma outra vez.
É que, Darli, não é uma questão da entrega apenas do website, né? Tem toda a questão do expertise para ele ficar nos primeiros lugares, né? Que
Entendi.
a gente vê essa questão do web designer, pessoal,
Okay, yeah.
um pouquinho iniciais que vocês podem ter, né? Esperar do site.
Okay, there it is. Man, all right. I haven't seen this before, so I didn't even know they're getting to the ROI. Great. So here's the ROI. I don't speak Portuguese. I mean, I don't really know the heck it's saying, but like, this is this is the important stuff. This should have been slide number 1, slide number 2. This is what matters. Okay. And that's where all of his impatientness is coming up with. Like, basically, the way I'd structure the pitch is being like, all right, look, man, so this is what we're talking about here. We've been working with other clients in Brazil doing solar panel installations. We've worked in Rio, we worked in, I don't know, worked in Sao Paulo, this neighborhood. This is what they typically saw. Okay, we typically see somewhere between a 15 to 20 times ROI. Depends a little bit on the area competition, but I was able to take a look at your site. I would not expect us to be south of, whatever. Give them some numbers, right? This should be taken care of before. Give them these numbers, okay? This is what's in it for you. This is why you should pay attention. Then the rest of the pitch is just explaining how that's going to be done, proving that you can actually do this without a reasonable doubt, which is going to go back to, of course, talking about you and your experience. That's great, but also, more importantly, we're going to want to show some testimonials, some case studies, some relevant things that can show that you've done this before in the same industry, same niche, and that you guys know what you're talking about, and you can back these numbers up. And if you can prove without a reasonable doubt that these ROI numbers are accurate for him and that you've done it before, you're gonna make the sale.
Para todas as perguntas e palavras-chave relacionadas à energia solar no Google, né, nós temos em torno de 2.000 pesquisas mensais, né, para sua região de Porto Velho, né. Estando na primeira página do Google, nas primeiras posições, isso é tudo estimativa aqui, tá? Mas a gente está jogando uma estimativa muito baixa. Leads Squad trabalha com um site e o
caminho aí que você me apresentou. É muito bom, me atende, preciso, tá? Como eu te falei, o valor está um pouquinho acima do que eu esperava. Eu queria que você me formulasse aí essa proposta comercial e verificasse já nessa oportunidade se você consegue melhorar alguma coisa no teu valor. E aí...
Okay, so now he's saying that, okay, it all sounds good, but the price is too high. Even though we're telling him right now that you should get a 19 times ROI. So if he actually believed you were getting a 19 times ROI, the price would not be too high. Okay? The price would be a freaking bargain. So what that really means is that there's just too much of a risk between what I'm saying, like he doesn't buy it yet. He doesn't actually buy that you can get these numbers that you're talking about, which is why the price is too much.
Imagina que eu te dando um sinal verde para você iniciar esse projeto. Obviamente, eu tenho que te dar uma entrada, mas o pagamento principal, quando realmente o site estiver rodando, quando estiver aprovado, né? Porque produto pela internet, você sabe, João, é muito complicado. Eu já fui, infelizmente, agraciado de comprar no teu produto e, de repente, depois eu não tinha para quem recorrer, porque online, comprei, paguei no Pix, fiquei desassistido. Então dá uma avaliada nisso para mim, por favor, vê se você tem interesse. Eu preciso do site, né? Tem algumas sugestões também.
Que valor que você tinha pensado, Darli? Na verdade, só deixa eu terminar essa explicação aqui rapidinho. Pela estimativa baixa, né, você vai esperar 4 clientes, né, do seu site por mês, estando nas primeiras posições.
Yeah, okay. I mean, actually, to Joel's credit, he is now starting to kind of get to, talking about the clicks, returns, but it's just too little too late. And so this is actually something that cannot be overstressed. What you need to be doing is showing how you're different than other marketing, how your product is differentiating yourself from others. And that needs to be done quickly at the beginning of the call, because all buyers, we try to put all products into a box as quickly as we can. Why do we do that? Why do I do that? Why does everyone in the world do that? Because it makes our decision easy. Because there are so many functions, there are so many parts to consider when buying a product, particularly something quite technical like websites and things like this, SEO, that's pretty scary for a lot of people. More the reason why you really don't want to get into the technical stuff at all, because they just don't care or understand it. It'd be like if you go into a car lot and you start talking about the technical things of how the engine, how the carburetors, how the gears work. Yeah, there are some people that might be really into that, but 99% of people don't care and they don't want to know. They just want to know, I get in the car, I turn the key, it starts, and it takes me from A to B, and they want to know how good the speakers sound and how good the airbags are for their kids and stuff like that. That's what they want to know about. And so the problem is, and what needs to be changed in this pitch right now is this part is being hidden in the end of the script to where it needs to be in the front end. It needs to be put in the front, and then how you are different than other companies needs to be established as well, because he's just putting you in a box of marketing. He even said it somewhere in there that I've done this before, I've tried this before, it didn't work with my other site, right? And so he's basically has already done it. His mind's kind of already made up by this point, by the time we actually got to the price. And that's why basically when he got to the price, he was like, okay, that's all I needed. Gone. Bye. I've heard this all before. It's the same crap. And had this been established front on in the beginning, I would say that things would have been much different, and he probably would have been paying more attention to the rest of the slides and the deliverables. If he actually is buying into this 19X, he will be paying more attention to what he's going to get with it, because it actually sounds more real. But because we did the reverse, all the deliverables and things like this, he wasn't even listening, he wasn't even paying attention, he was on his phone and stuff, so he doesn't even care. Right, so that's a big takeaway for this call.
Isso daria um retorno sobre investimento teu, claro, quando você estivesse nas primeiras posições, né? De 19 vezes, né? Que é o custo que você pagaria mensal de 3 mil no caso, né?
Isso então, é garantido ou você acha?
Não, isso é uma estimativa, né? Isso é uma estimativa. Mas é o que as...
Okay, good. So now we're getting to the good stuff. So Joel's poking a little bit. Well, you know, we are expecting a 19 times ROI. I mean, is that something you'd be happy with? And he said, well, is it guaranteed? So look, there we go. Now he's really given the cues of I'm not buying it. I'm not convinced you're actually going to get me 19x. How do I know that's going to be 19x? These are just numbers on a slide.
As pessoas nas primeiras posições estão recebendo de acesso, né? Esse aqui dos leads a gente consegue, mas é por isso que eu pergunto do seu time comercial, né? Porque aqui é uma questão de você conseguir converter o seu lead, né? Então, de quantas pessoas que chegam no teu WhatsApp que você realmente consegue vender?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know exactly what he's saying, but basically, like, I would have gotten this information in my qualifying questions, typically. Now, if you remember, at the beginning of the call, he did ask, what's your average client value? That's good. That's a good question to have. I also would have asked a few other things. Like, hey, typically out of every 10 calls you get, how many do you normally sign up? Okay, yeah, usually like 3. Okay, cool. That makes sense. That's on par with what our other contractors are doing. Where are you getting the leads from right now? Right? He did ask that, but remember he didn't actually give the answer. I would have liked to have had that information. And then typically I would have then gone down and proved every one of these numbers, being like, okay, look, so in your city, here's the search term. I pull up a third party, use like Ahrefs or some data that can show the search volume. Look, here's the data in your city. This many searches. We did it in this city. This many searches. We did it in this city. This many searches. We did it in this city. This many searches. In these 3 cities that are very similar, we did this. This is what happened. Right? That goes back to case studies. Case studies show it, prove it without a reasonable doubt that we've done this in your other cities. Okay, none of that's been shown right now, so he's not buying these numbers. And then I go down the list. Okay, look, so once we've now established that your city has roughly 200 searches a month, we are guaranteeing on page 1 to 3 that should get you roughly, conservatively, 10% of the clicks. But if we get you on, excuse me, not page 1, we're getting you on position 1 to 3. Guaranteed, that's part of their offer. They're guaranteeing 1 to 3 rank. Typically, position 1 gets about 30% of the clicks. Position 2 gets, I should know that, gets like what, 15% of the clicks, and I think position 3 gets like 8, so roughly 10%, which is why you want to be in the top 3 so much in Google, because it gets 70% of the clicks. But anyways, so they're guaranteeing that. So let's just say like, hey, look, just really conservatively, we got you on page 1 and spot 3. This is worst case scenario, remember, because we're guaranteeing it. There's 200 clicks, there's 200 expected searches for your city and your area, according to Ahrefs, the most respected search aggregator in the world. We actually did it in a similar city, and it actually ended up being more than what Ahrefs said. So we had expected actually to be more in your city, but we can't prove that. We're not sure, so let's just go conservatively. They have 200 searches right now in the city. Let's say we get you 10% of those. That's going to be 20 new clicks to your website. Of those 20, typically we'd expect about half of those fill out a form and actually call you. I'm making that up. That's another number you actually would want to get from them. You'd actually want to ask, right? Just roughly, if they have that information. They got to look at from how many clicks do you typically get, and how many calls do you get for the number of clicks. They probably won't even know that. This guy probably doesn't even know that, right? So then what I'd say, well look, based on your website, based on what we've seen with our other clients, probably about 50%. Okay, so let's just assume you get 20 new clicks. You'll get 10 new calls. What's your conversion rate? What's the conversion rate you said? Okay, you said about 1 out of 3. Okay, from those 10 calls, 20 clicks, 10 calls, you should get 3 new sales in a month. You told me your average client value was around 25,000, I think they're called reals, right? 25,000 reals. So that should be about 75,000 reals a month of revenue, conservatively. This is extremely conservative. Okay, we're taking worst case scenario here. $75,000, and we are investing, and it's 17,000 reals was the investment. Whatever the math is on that. Okay. This is what I do to this granularity, and I would make sure that they are bought in on every single step. Okay. If they don't believe one of those numbers and it doesn't match up, it's not going to work, which is what's happening right here.
Entendeu? Aí a parte com o seu time comercial, entendeu?
Mas... Hoje eu já vendo bem aqui, o Pedro já atende bem a expectativa nossa para nossa estrutura no indicação, cara. Entendeu? O site ajuda muito, é uma vitrine, né? Obviamente que a gente quer sempre vender mais, a gente está em expansão, a gente está em crescimento, então quanto mais eu vender para nós, muito melhor.
Entendi.
Mas bacana, você pode enviar isso para mim, para eu formalizar, para eu reunir aqui?
Claro.
So now he's talking about, yeah, I do want to grow, I do have this guy Pedro, but this is all stuff that really need to be sorted out at the beginning of the call. This goes back to, and this is something I should have said at the beginning. He only asked like 3 or 4 qualifying questions at the beginning of the pitch, and that's a huge issue as well. Like there are so many things which are being missed to this call. Like we don't know anything about his business. We don't know what his goals are. We don't know if he's doing. We just don't know anything because we didn't ask, right? And there's a whole list of qualifying questions that you can see at the beginning, and only like 2 or 3 of them were asked. And this is a huge reason. I mean, if you take a pie chart of like the percentage of the importance of a sale broken down by part of the script, right? The front end of the script where you're asking the questions and getting to know the person, and you're just asking them questions and really listening, that's like 60-70% of the sale. The actual presentation, which we're going through right now, is maybe like another 20-30%, something like that. Right? It's important, but it's not the main thing. And then closing is probably like 10% or something like that, like if even. But the point is like the most important part of the script, getting to know them and seeing what the heck is going on, seeing what their goals are, It's all completely missed. There's not a lot of rapport going on. I mean, this guy's being nice, right? But like, there's not a lot of rapport. Like, he doesn't really understand the business, and that's all. That's all part of the reason too to why I would say he's fighting so much at this point.
A minha gerente, a gente bateu um papo.
Claro,
O teu áudio ele tá um pouquinho baixo. Eu não sei se é teu áudio ou se é meu notebook aqui.
Ah, tranquilo, tranquilo. Darli, só deixa eu te perguntar, mais ou menos em qual valor que você tinha em mente?
Olha, fica ruim eu te falar agora. Tem que olhar o valor que a gente pagou nas últimas vezes, né? Claro que o nosso site não tá bem longe disso aí que você me apresentou, desses dados, né?
Uhum.
Eu vou até te mandar aqui no seu WhatsApp, no contexto de engenharia. Dá uma olhada nesse site aqui. Quanto você cobraria para fazer algo nesse padrão aí? Vou te mandar aí, ó. Essa empresa aí, ela tá em fase de decreção, vamos dizer assim, né? Tá caindo, perdeu o mercado, se queimou aqui.
Uhum.
Mas já foi uma empresa bem renomada aqui na região. Dá uma olhada, te mandei no WhatsApp.
Entendi. Bom, Darli, para isso eu precisaria fazer uma análise, né, desse site, precisaria de um pouquinho de mais tempo, né? O que eu acho que dá para fazer...
Okay, so I think I'm going to end here because I'm just beating the dead horse. So I believe what he just said was like, look, actually this isn't even like the main site we want to work on. There's this other site here, and he just showed that's been following a lot in traffic, and this is actually the one that we want to be working on. And so he just asked him to basically, can you do an audit of this site? So more to the point of this all should have been solved 20 minutes ago. Like, there's no reason to be getting into the pitch and explaining something where it turns out this guy doesn't even he doesn't even care about this site. Okay, that makes a lot more sense why he's like playing with his papers and stuff, because he's on a call for a site he doesn't really care about. And that just goes back to the qualifying questions were really missed, and when his body language was giving off so much that impatience and things like that, that was avoided as well, because it just wasn't this call just wasn't about him. It was really about Joao and the guys, and their experience and things like this. At least that's how it would have felt to him, to where without the questions and really understanding his world and what he's trying to get, he's just kind of glazing his eyes and they're just numbers on a page, right? So those are the big takeaways from this call. Hey guys, that's it for today. Hope that was valuable. If you got any questions, please drop a comment below. If there's anything you want to see on the channel, if you like this type of video, you want to see more of it, let me know. Thank you.